5773 released 7th Cavalry throughout the Indian War duration in 1873, Colt presented the well-known design 1873, also called the Single-Action Army, the Colt. 45 inches, not to be confused with Colt-made models of the M1911 semi-automatic, or merely, the Peacemaker, among the most popular handguns ever made. It is still in production, in addition to various clones and lookalikes, and its general look has stayed the very same because 1873. Although initially made for the United States Army, the Model 1873 was extensively distributed and popular with civilians, ranchers, lawmen, and criminals alike. Its style has actually influenced numerous other revolvers. In the U.S., the traditional single-action revolver still reigned supreme until the late 19th century. In Europe, nevertheless, arms makers were fast to embrace the double-action trigger. While the US was producing weapons like the Model 1873, the Europeans were developing double-action models like the French MAS Modle 1873 and the somewhat later British Enfield Mk1 and 2 revolvers. Britain depended on cartridge conversions of the earlier BeaumontAdams double-action prior to this. Smith & Wesson M&P revolver in 1889, Colt presented the design 1889, the first truly modern double-action revolver, which varied from earlier double-action revolvers by having a swing-out cylinder, rather than a top break or side-loading cylinder. Swing-out cylinders rapidly captured on, since they integrated the very best functions of earlier designs. Side-loaders, like the earlier Colt Model 1871 and 1873, provided a stiff frame, however needed the user to inject and load one chamber at a time, as they rotated the cylinder to line each chamber up with the side-mounted loading gate. Smith & Wesson followed 7 years later on with the hand injector, design 1896 in .38 special cartridge. The design 10 went on to end up being the very best-selling pistol of the 20th century, at 6,000,000 systems, and the .38 Special is still the most popular chambering for revolvers worldwide. These new guns were an improvement over the Colt 1889 style given that they included a combined center pin and ejector rod to lock the cylinder in position. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.